Well, good evening-ish, everyone. Let's talk about the academy, shall we? So, a very good Monday to you all. Hammer's headlines. We have the daily show, all that type of stuff. But this is the Academy show. For anyone new to the channel, we've had lots of new subscribers in the last few days. So, thank you very, very much for joining. We dedicate a period of time just for the Academy, just talking about the Academy. Very important part of West Ham. And the idea is to give you some ideas in terms of what's going on. We tend to do it sort of with three stages. One is any new academy news. So last week we had a couple of players sign their new pro deals and first pro deals. David Shigueda, my boy, Edris Goldenbecki's, their first pro deals were signed last week. And any news affecting the sides, the 18s and 21s. Then we talk about the players out on loan, the academy players. And then we talk about any games that have happened over the weekend for the 18s and the 21s. Let's start with news. Not much really to write home about. Obviously, Ollie Scholes appeared in the matchday squad against Everton for the first team on Saturday, which was fantastic. Fantastic. Not too sure what position he was meant to be covering, to be honest. Because maybe midfield, maybe. Because, I mean, although you may think he's a left back, he's not at the moment. He plays more sort of central midfield at the moment for the under-21s. So maybe that role he might have played, maybe. But you think maybe why not Ollie? Why not Ollie Lewis Orford? I don't know. I suppose he could also play left back. So that was good to see. There's been a lot of international call-ups. Obviously, we're going to the international break. Caelan Casey, George Earthy have been named in the elite England's men's elite squad for November games against Germany and Poland. Finn Herrick and Lewis Orford are both been included in the under-19s, England under-19 squad for 3 games in the under-19 championship qualifying rounds. They're going to be all played in Bulgaria, I think, or something like that. Incidentally, Caelan and George, the ELS, the Elite League squad, the under-23 man squad, is headed up by former assistant coach Paul Nevin, which is always fun. As they'll be in action in Germany and then Poland in the next couple of weeks. Later on in the Friday, if that makes sense. Last Friday, Scholars, Emeka Ediele, Launi Roise and Chisano Nwosi all received call-ups. Ediele to the England under-18s on a 4-team tournament in Spain. The goalkeeper, Oisi and Nusu, also included in the England under-17 squads. And Gabriel Kalista was included in the senior squad for the Mauritian side for a friendly against Hong Kong on Tuesday, which is fantastic. That's not including, obviously, the players out on loan like Callum, and that they'll be obviously called up to their respective international squads as well. Let's get into the loans, shall we? So as I said, what we try and do is for this section is just concentrate just on the academy players out on loan, the likes of Naef, who starred in a famous victory against Barcelona last night. They're all mentioned in Hammer's headlines. You go back and check that out. Right, let's start with George. George started and played the first 66 minutes in Bristol City's 2-0 away win to Norwich. That's 2 games in a row that George has started, as he played the first 80 minutes in their side's 2-1 home defeat to Sheffield United earlier in the week. So he was injured. He's back and has 2 starts under his belt. Their fans are really starting to see what he can offer. Playing on the right on a midfield 4, he's playing there. Bristol play 3-4-3 formation tighter, and he was playing on the right hand side of the midfield, it's almost on the wing. So good to see. Callum Marshall started and played the first half in Huddersfield's 2-2 away draw to Crawley Town. Michael Forbes, 71st minute substitute appearance for Bristol City in their 1-1 draw against Lincoln City. I really like Michael Forbes. I think he's got a real Craig Dawson, old school defender about him. And I think, in terms of looking at, in my eyes, I think Michael's got more chance of making it into the West Ham first team than Caelan, for example. Just I think he's that physicality and he's got that broad Northern Ireland accent. And when you frack off, you're offside. very intimidating, particularly when Callum's playing and Sean and Patrick Kelly, a little sort of Northern Irish sort of contingent. It's, speaking of Patrick Kelly, he played the full 90 minutes of Doncaster Rovers in a 1-1 home draw to Notts against Notts County. Gideon didn't feature in the matchday squad. No, that's it. He did score last time, but Gideon didn't feature in the matchday squad as Wickham won 1-0 away to Wigan. Levi's still on the injury list at the moment, Levi Lang. Christian Heggie was a sub as Motherwell won 2. Oh, that's all wrong. Sorry. As Motherwell won 2-1 at home to St Johnstone. It's worth saying when it comes to Christian, he's very much the number 2 in the first team at Motherwell, so he's not getting any game time, really. A bit like our number 2 goalkeeper won't, unless the manager, head coach decides to change him, pretty much. Mason Terry played the full 90 minutes for AFC Hornchurch as they lost 1-0 to Maidstone in the National League South. So again, another 90 minutes for Mason, which is fantastic. In terms of the games now, under 21 games this week. But there was a trip from Aston Villa, who are the league leaders in the under-18s Premier League South, and we won. We won, and it was another hat trick. Another hat trick hero. That's not Elijah, but Elijah Sowunmi fired in a second hat trick in as many in his career so far, as West Ham under-18s beat league leaders Aston Villa 3-1 at Broadmoor Heath and extended their undefeated sort of run now to 5 games, which is quite impressive considering they had a bit of a torrid start to the season. They're really starting to find their feet a bit where the under-21s aren't. I think they haven't won in 5 or 6 games, they're under-21s now. It was a really good match, actually, and it swung from end to end and was won by 2 second-half penalties from Sowunmi, and he's now netted 11 goals in all competitions this campaign, including a second hat-trick in his last 3 under-18 Premier League South Division appearances. Shows, it's a really exciting young player, 17-year-old. He's literally in the form of his life at the moment, and West Ham are definitely reaping the awards. As I said, he's now got 11 goals in all competitions now, which is a fantastic sum of goals already so far. And you look at the side, and there's some really good. As I was saying to someone, we've got a lot of people who are doing the step up. We've got obviously a number of players out on loan, the likes of George, Callum, Patrick. There's about 6 or so players, 7 players out on loan. Ignoring Mason, because Mason's still training with the academy, but goes and plays the game. It's non-league. It's in terms of the National League South. And so a number of 18s have had to step up. Amika Adiele, Favour for Omni, Josh Ajala, and people like that. And then obviously 16s have had to step up into the 18s as well. So that 18s group is still quite a young group. There's some really good players there. And obviously we brought some players over into that squad in the summer. JV Chigueda, David Bulagon as well from City and United, respectively. And if you get an opportunity, obviously it's international break, so there's not going to be any games. But if you do get an opportunity to go and see the 21s, if they're playing at Rush Green, or if they're playing at a ground near you, or the 18s, go and watch them, because it's in a time where there's a lot of fans who are a bit meh at West Ham at the moment. The academy is a shining light in what we've got at the moment. And as I said, you look for the whole coaching setup, a lot of old West Ham boys involved in there as well. So definitely something we can I'd get behind if you could. And that's it. So anyway, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, stay warm. Oh, Budden's heating's gone up. We turned it on. Turned it on. Anyway, take care, stay safe. Much love. Bye-bye.